right, everybody, welcome back. We're here with the weekend edition of the Cabral Concept. These are the Cabral HouseCalls, my opportunity to answer your questions that come in each and every week. We're typically just about, I would say, 10 to 12 weeks behind as we typically are with getting to your questions, and that's only because of the sheer volume that comes in on a weekly basis. I'm opening up the document right now. We are going to get started. If you want to read along with the questions as I'm seeing them as well for the first time, head on over to stevencabral.com/2829 for all of today's questions. We typically get about 5 to 6 each Saturday and 5 to 6 every Sunday. Again, thank you so much for your support of the show. Really appreciate being able to do this weekend edition, getting to your questions. And I think by now we've answered well over 5,000 questions on these weekend host calls. If you got a little benefit, I would love for you to leave a review, rate and review the show on your favorite podcast player. That would mean a lot just as you're listening to the show. You can just go right down, write a review. Hopefully it's 5 stars, but if it's not, you just give it the rating that you feel is appropriate. And once again, I appreciate and thank you for being a part of this community. Okay, let's get into it. The first question today is from Patty. And Patty says, "Hi, Dr. Cabral. My name is Patty." Oh, we don't want to give your last name. These are always kept on a first name basis. "My grandmother has been diagnosed with COPD and it's affecting her memory. She's a lifelong smoker of 40 plus years, and we were able to get her to quit about 2 years ago. Her breathing is terrible and it breaks my heart. I know that this condition can't be reversed, but are there any protocols I can do with her to help her heal from all of those years of smoking?" Okay, so that's true. Like there's some degradation of the lungs, just like there's degradation of the thyroid, or let's just say the myelin sheath of the nervous system, or the joints with rheumatoid arthritis. Like, yes, there can be actual biomechanical, for a lack of a better term, changes to the body. But however, I have actually seen great results with COPD with looking at a high antioxidant, high polyphenol diet, with walking, with sauna. So we want to get her using sauna to get her sweating. And we definitely want to get her to improve her lung capacity. And so that would mean, like, even if it is, I'm assuming, let's say she's 60 years old, 70 years old, we can start just very slowly with like walking the stairs in the house, right? With what does she feel comfortable? Maybe 1 flight of stairs, no problem. She walks back down them slowly. That's it for that day. Then maybe next week it's 2 flights of stairs. Then maybe the next week it's 3 flights of stairs. So it's getting the body to also get into more of an aerobic based capacity, and huffing and puffing a little bit. Like, you might need medical supervision. You might need to work with a physical therapist or, really good qualified personal trainer, etc. ACSM has a lot of great personal trainers that can work on more of a medical-based setting as well. ACSM is the American College of Sports Medicine. I was a member of that for quite some time. So that's what we want to do too. We literally want to be able to help detox, which is exhaling more from the lungs. And you can do that with sauna too. So I'm a big advocate of those too. Sauna and exercise to get it going. Anti-inflammatory diet plan using the at least daily foundational protocol over at Equilife on a daily basis. So those are all things I recommend. Try reading The Rain Barrel Effect if possible as well. And that will give you a really straightforward fashion. Start at all the first level things and then begin to work your way up. But no doubt about it, you can absolutely heal 2 degrees. Like there's not 2 degrees, but 2 degrees, meaning like even with scarring, using things like pancreatic enzymes can be absolutely fantastic. So there's so much you can do. Never give up. I've seen dramatic turnarounds. So never give up. Keep on pushing. Valerie's up next. TYSM for all you do. Thank you so much. Okay, I was just like, what does that mean? Okay, I got it. I have been an avid listener and participant for about 2 years now, and I've learned so much. So far, I've healed myself of rheumatoid arthritis and diabetes with all your information and IHP help. That's amazing, Valerie, and happy to hear that. My biggest challenge, and just Patty, so there you go, like rheumatoid arthritis, diabetes, healed. And so just always keep hope, right? Always keep hope. I know you, let's see, my biggest challenge is weight loss, which I have not been able to conquer. I know you hear people say they've done everything and it didn't work, but I really mean it. This includes Fatlocity, faster rate of fat loss. I lost a few pounds on Fatlocity, but it came back. I went back to faster way afterwards and actually gained weight trying to get all the macros in that they recommend. I walk 8 to 10,000 steps per day, do the FW workouts daily, which includes 3 days of strength training. I measure and account for every bite. I'm so frustrated, help. So I totally get it, Valerie. Literally, I am the person, I'm not the only person, but I'm like the person that sticks up for you. Because in most programs, they just tell you to eat less and exercise more. And you're a perfect example of someone that's already eating less and exercising more. So I totally get it. I mean, I've worked with so many clients like you. So I have so many free podcasts, literally so many free podcasts on this. And what we need to conquer is this. Well, here's the thing. I can just tell you, you need a customized protocol for you. You need to look at your thyroid. You need to look at your adrenals. You need to look at your estrogen to progesterone ratio. You need to look at your overall healthy levels of testosterone, especially as a female as well, which they'll never tell you about. You need to look at blood sugar balance. What else? Thermogenesis is all part of that. So we need to look at your sleep. So I can't recommend enough to you. Like if you only run one lab, it's the stress, mood, and metabolism test. And if you only run one. And if you have your menstrual cycle, you want to run it during the luteal phase, typically around days 19 or day 20 or 21. That's what you need to do. And you will get a customized plan because this is hormonal and the hormones are affecting the metabolism and vice versa. Well, so we can fix this. It doesn't happen overnight, but we can fix this over a period of 4 to 6 months. Realistically, again, I wouldn't tell you something that isn't possible. And then it continues to get better and better as your metabolism gets better. So that's where we need to start. We need to improve everything across the board. And that's the nice thing is that we can do that. It's precision-based nutrition and health. And that it only comes really through lab testing. So you can find that at stephencabral.com/hormones-test, or every test I talk about is at stephencabral.com/shop. And then you can just search for what it is. And again, I always say you don't need to run it with us. Like you really don't. But just know that the information's out there and we're here to help. So you can also run it with an integrative health practitioner like yourself, but you can run it with a level 2 and that will be helpful. All right, Melissa's up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. I love your podcast and I've learned so much from you. Thank you so much for all you do. Thank you, Melissa. Appreciate you. I have a quick question. Does intermittent fasting slow down your metabolism? I've worked my way up to 16.8 and was wondering if I should keep doing this every day or vary it in order to keep my metabolism from slowing down. Just to give you some background info, I'm a 45-year-old female, healthy and active. I do have subclinical hypothyroidism, but without any major symptoms. Thank you so much in advance. Okay, so intermittent fasting can slow the metabolism down, and especially in women. So there's nothing wrong with 16.8. But I have a whole series of podcasts at stephencabral.com/IF. They're all free. They will teach you everything you need to know about intermittent fasting, legitimately. I've done the research for you. I've looked at all the intermittent fasting studies of any worth noting. I've read the books. Like literally, this is a topic that I've been working with since probably around 2004, realistically. Not 2000 or so when I first got started, but right around then. So what I want to share with you is there's nothing wrong with 16.8. It's being done at the wrong time. People are fasting until 12 noon and then eating until 8 o'clock at night. I can tell you for sure that's not the best way to do it. You ideally want to do 9 to 5 or 10 to 6 if you're doing intermittent fasting with a 16.8. Most people do just as fine, just as well with 14 hours a day. They do really great with a 14-10. And that would be something like 8 in the morning until 6 at night. Okay, so both of those work. And there's a lot more to it, but absolutely not fasting until lunch. Overall, for long-term health, you can do it in the short term. Overall, for long-term health, better not to fast till lunch. It does increase all-cause mortality. It's a greater stress in the body, and a greater stress in the body can affect the thyroid. But you can still get 16.8. You just have to stop eating earlier at night, which is actually better for your overall metabolism, sleep. And then check out my latest podcast on the circadian rhythm, intermittent fasting. I think you'll get a lot of information from that. And it's episode 2819. So it just came out last week. And so that would be new. Yeah, definitely check that out though. Really, really helpful. Okay. Plus, even better to do like 1 day a week of a 24-hour and then more normal like 14-10. But I'm going to let you decide what's best for you. And running that stress, mood, and metabolism test will tell you if it's overstressing your body and actually slowing your thyroid. Because you don't want low thyroid, even subclinical, which just means that it's not above a 5. It's between let's say a 2.5 and a 5. Definitely don't want that. All right, Anna says, hello. I'd love to know if there is a based spike detox from the, let's just call it the shot, right? The virus shot, so we don't get banned by saying that. Okay, so base spike detox. I think you're talking about, is there a detox if you get the shot? And I really can't talk about that because then I'm getting into medical advice and I'm getting into treatment plans and I'm getting into censoring. And so we have to be really careful with that. But here's what I'd recommend. If you can read the rain barrel effect, and then just for overall health, you can do the 21-day functional medicine detox with, then after that, the daily foundational support. That's what I would do, okay? And then, of course, I would do other great things if you can, such as infrared sauna, and then maybe even the heavy metal detox as well after the 21-day functional medicine detox, okay? All right, Laura's up next. Can certain medications or supplements cause tinnitus? Well, I can't speak on medications, but yes, some of them can as a side effect. I don't know any supplements that cause tinnitus, but I have many shows on tinnitus talking about low B vitamins, such as a B12 or a B6, or maybe even folate, lower levels of omega-3s, imbalanced blood sugar. There are many and multiple reasons for tinnitus. Overall, anything that causes inflammation can cause tinnitus in certain people. Low levels of magnesium can cause tinnitus as well. So I have lots of podcasts on tinnitus, and I recommend going to stephencabral.com/podcasts and type in ringing in ear, or type in tinnitus, and you'll get all those shows on that. If you ever can't find your answer or find the show, let us help you. Literally, my team is amazing, and they're here to help. And you can go to cabralsupportgroup.com and just ask your question in our private community. All right, let's get to one more question, because that'll be our 6 for today. This is from Liz, L-Y-S. Hi, Dr. Cabral. I recently got a pap smear and tested positive for HPV. It's really been stressing me out, and I'm trying to clear it as soon as possible. What are your thoughts on using AHCC, active hexose correlated compound supplements to help? I'm open to other suggestions. I just want it gone. Thank you. Great question. Happy to help. So I've talked about HPV in the past. So I definitely recommend, again, going to stephencabral.com/podcast and type in HPV. Okay, human papilloma virus. So I've worked with many women in my practice with HPV, like many women from like 2010 on. And we've always used the daily foundational protocol plus the immunity protocol. All right, so the daily nutritional support, the omega-3s, we used a good probiotic. If you want daily fruit and vegetable blend, that's optional. Enzymes are optional. Okay. After that, we always use vitamin C, 2 to 3 grams a day. We used, and divided doses. We used vitamin D3, and we used the zinc, okay? Balanced zinc as needed if you haven't run a minerals and metals test. Okay. Now, after that, we also did mushroom-based blends, but the predominant one we used was reishi. And if you look up reishi mushrooms and HPV, you will find the scientific evidence that reishi is able to help with that. But also, people got pretty good results also adding in other mushroom blends. So that was interesting, right? Because it helps to modulate a healthy immune system. Now, you're talking about HCC. It's a great supplement. I'm not giving any medical advice or medical treatment plans. People use it with cancer or that are worried about cancer. And it can be used with any viral-based issue. So I'm not against HCC either. HCC is just a more expensive supplement, but it can be a really great product. So for me, I would do what I said. Again, you have to look at underlying root causes. I would use the reishi, and then you may very well look into the HCC and beta glucans. A lot of this are mushroom extracts. So that's the interesting thing about them. All right. Hopefully that was helpful. Thanks so much for writing into the show. Time flies. Time flies in the Cabral House Calls. I'm going to be back tomorrow answering more of our community's questions. Thanks so much for tuning into today's show. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I want to make sure that you're getting our daily content, not missing out on anything functional medicine, wellness, weight gain, weight loss, anti-aging, living longer, stronger, and all of the most cutting-edge research. And if there's any topics you want to hear, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Take care.